Hello and welcome to another video by DecaDev. Today we're going to be bootstrapping a React NextJS application. So let's have a look at the getting started sort of part. What is NextJS? NextJS is a React framework for building full stack web applications. So we can use it for what we call server-side rendering and client-side rendering, and kind of as a semi-backend itself. So it's what we call a full stack application. We've got this installation part for the getting started, and we've got some stuff we can do. So for this, first thing we're going to do is I have just created a fully empty, just Next.js-init repository, and I'm going to literally copy the link to it. We're going to go into our web folder, run command. Let's zoom in a bit so you can see it a bit easier. I'm going to now git clone the actual repository. So I'm going to copy that repository again. Clone the repository local. I'm going to cd into the Next.js init folder. Now, following the getting started thing, we're going to use this npx create next app at latest, but we're going to have to add one more little thing, a space dot, to say make it in the current directory. So that'll sort of start doing its thing now. Would you like to use TypeScript? Why, yes, I would. And ESLint, yeah, sure. And Tailwind CSS, absolutely. We don't actually want a source directory at this point, but we do want to use the app router. We'll leave everything else as is. So it's now basically creating what we want there for us. Okay, so that's installed 360 packages. So that's pretty cool. So we've now got technically a Next.js application right there, sitting there, right? So let's have a quick look at the file structure. It's got a README, it's got some other files here. It's got a package.json, it's got a Tailwind config, it's got a TS config, it's got a public folder, and some node modules. So we can actually test it out. We can do a npm I to make sure that we've got everything installed. That's awesome. Now we can do an npm run dev to take a look and see what we've actually created. So if you look at localhost 3000, so I'm going to literally copy that. I'm going to go to the web browser and visit it. And here we're presented with even, presenting with. So we're presented with the actual Next.js app here. Look, get started editing, app at page.tsx. So this is actually the default sort of template, just showing that it's working. Okay. So that's great. Let's Control C. Terminate the batch job. Yeah, sure. Now let's open it in VS Code. Code. So see all this stuff we've got here inside app. Yeah, I'm going to trust it. Inside app, we have this page.tsx, and this is what it was showing. This flex, blah, 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 this other stuff. I'm going to leave the main in there. Well, actually, you know what? No, let's just make an entire deletion of all this main stuff here. Let's make a new fragment. Put a quick H1 in there. Give a class name of, let's say, text reactor. Put time to code. Let's save that. Now we'll go to the terminal, new terminal. Now we'll do an npm run dev. Now it's running on localhost again. So let's move that out of the way. Move that out of the way. And let's refresh this page. Notice how we now have time to code in there. Yeah. Notice how it still says create next app here. Maybe we want this not to say that. Maybe we want this to say something else. So let's have a little look again. So we've got our layout. We've got our general layout. Look, metadata, create next app. Here's where it's got the title. So let's say NextJS application. Initialize. Okay, so I'm going to save that. And let's take a look. NextJS application. How cool is that? So there's a couple of other cleanups I want to do to say that, yes, we've initialized it. Let's go to the global CSS. I don't want all these foreground background colors right now. So I'm going to literally get rid of those. I'm going to get rid of all these media stuff and everything else. Now in root, I want to do kind of a reset. So I'll just say margin, 0. Border is also 0. And we'll say box sizing is border box. Just a simple basic reset, simple CSS reset. And I say we got a white background with black writing, everything's all clean. Great stuff. We can do dark mode at some point and things like that. That's fine. But just for the moment, I want to keep it very, very simple, very, very clean. Let's take a look at our page. We don't need to be importing the image thing because we're not using that for anything. Let's save that. Let's double check the layout. That all looks okay for now. Let's have a look in public. We don't need this next SVG or this Vercel SVG, so I'm going to go and delete those. Let's have a look. Did I just accidentally delete the actual public folder itself? 1 second. I think I did, you know. So I'm going to rename that folder. Not in the app though. There we go. That can hold any sort of like images or any other stuff that we want to sort of like have available to our application in the public directory whenever we're doing stuff. So that's fine. So I think that will be good enough for our bootstrap. If we have a look in package.json, we've got a bunch of things we can do. We can do dev, we can do build, we can do start, we can do lint. There's lots of little things in there. And notice how we've got dependencies, and we've also got dev dependencies. These are to make TypeScript and things and Tailwind all work. But for our purposes, I think that's a good enough. So I'm going to terminate the batch job. Then we're going to push our changes. So initialize next.js commit. Yes. Let's push all of that up in a moment. Let's say git push -u origin main. Push that up to our remote. Now, if we take a look on our actual repository, let's just refresh it. We now have an actual bootstrapped application. This concludes our video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.